When Shedeur Sanders arrived in Cleveland, he wasn't treated like a prospect. He was treated like a partner. That's the fundamental shift Jimmy Haslam engineered. From media control to marketing architecture, Sanders was given not just a platform, but partial authorship. Unlike other rookies who are managed and molded, Sanders came in with the voice of a brand leader. The Browns didn't try to fit him into a system. They built the system around him. For the NFL, which still treats its athletes like commodities, this is more than unorthodox. It's threatening. This isn't about celebrity. It's about control. Sanders doesn't just understand narrative. He is the narrative. With Haslam's backing, he's redefining player power, crafting a model where value is co-owned, not assigned. The league's old revenue strategies, TV contracts, legacy marketing, are being bypassed by direct global engagement, led by players themselves. It's a recalibration of power that the NFL isn't ready for. The NFL is officially in uncharted territory, and it all starts with a rookie quarterback who walked into the league more prepared than half the front offices running it. Shedeur Sanders isn't just playing football. He's setting a new economic standard. And Jimmy Haslam? He's the only NFL owner smart or bold enough to throw out the old playbook and start printing a brand new.
If you're into the real story and all the messy twists they don't show on highlight reels, go ahead and subscribe. And if you're sticking around to see how this Browns QB chaos plays out, you should definitely be subscribed.
This isn't a hot streak. This is a system reset. From the moment Shedeur entered the NFL, everything about his trajectory was different. Most rookies show up with upside. He showed up with equity. While others are trying to earn name recognition, Shedeur already had a global brand. And that wasn't accidental. It was the result of years of strategic positioning, media polish, and calculated exposure. Haslam didn't just see a promising young QB. He saw a once-in-a-generation opportunity to flip the entire model of how a franchise operates. And he took it. It's not just that Shedeur is good. Yes, he's delivered multiple 300-yard games. Yes, he's shown he can deliver in clutch moments. But what's more valuable than any stat sheet is what he represents. He's not just performing. He's performing as a fully realized brand. From day one, his jersey sales exploded not just in the U.S., but globally. London, Lagos, Dubai, Seoul. His reach extends far beyond Cleveland, and even further beyond the league's traditional American stronghold. That global penetration isn't normal for any NFL player, let alone a rookie. It signals something bigger. The NFL is no longer just a national league. It's becoming an international media product. And Shedeur is the face of that shift. Jimmy Haslam saw it coming. Instead of viewing Sanders as just a rookie QB, he treated him like an economic asset. Not a short-term win, but a long-term investment. A foundation, not a flare-up. And to make that investment work, Haslam did what most NFL owners never do. He stepped into the business of brand building with his player. That move is already paying off. The Browns, a franchise long synonymous with mediocrity, are now leading one of the most disruptive experiments the NFL has ever seen. Strategic player development, slow and intentional rollouts, and deliberate protection of Shedeur's value. It's not just about football. It's about building a new kind of franchise model, one that puts cultural influence and brand leverage on the same level as athletic production. Haslam didn't just draft a quarterback. He aligned himself with a generational brand that could unlock new fan bases, new partnerships, and new revenue models. And Shedeur? He's more than capable of carrying it. His media presence alone sets him apart. He's not rattled by press conferences or fazed by spotlight moments. He delivers answers like a seasoned CEO, measured, authentic, and narrative-driven. He knows the value of story, and he knows how to tell it. His communication isn't just about charm, it's a business strategy. And fans respond to it. The connection Shedeur has with his fan base isn't transactional. It's emotional. People aren't just cheering for him, they feel like they know him. He offers a sense of purpose, identity, and representation that transcends stats or highlights. That kind of fan loyalty isn't built on wins and losses. It's built on trust. And that trust turns into real business. Merchandise sales, social engagement, ticket demand. The Browns are finally relevant, not because they've turned into a playoff machine, but because they've become culturally significant. And Shedeur Sanders is the axis everything revolves around. Other NFL teams are already scrambling. You can feel the tension. Suddenly, rookie development isn't just about performance. It's about optics, branding, media management. But what the league doesn't understand is that this can't be duplicated overnight. You can't clone Shedeur's authenticity or fast-track the years of brand equity he brought with him. You can't fake the trust he's built with fans. And you definitely can't force the kind of mutual respect that exists between Haslam and Sanders. That respect? That's what makes the whole thing work. Haslam didn't try to control Shedeur. He empowered him. He didn't treat him like an asset to be managed, but like a business partner to be built with. And that kind of relationship is exactly what the NFL isn't built to handle. For decades, this league has operated on control. Owners own, players perform, and everything else runs through the same centralized system. But now one team is thriving because they broke that system. They let the player drive some of the value. They let the brand come from the athlete. And the results speak for themselves. This goes way beyond Cleveland. This is about the NFL losing its grip on how value is defined. TV contracts, stadium deals, licensing agreements. Those used to be the core of the league's power structure. But now those traditional pillars are being challenged by something new, player-driven media and cultural capital. Haslam and Shedeur are setting a precedent. A team no longer needs a Super Bowl ring to become globally valuable. It needs a story, a face, a figurehead who speaks to more than just football fans. And Shedeur is all of that, and more. His rise has forced a shift in how players are evaluated. It's no longer just about size, speed, and arm strength. It's about fluency in media, culture, and influence. That's what franchises are now racing to understand. Because as much as teams want a quarterback who can throw for 300 yards, what they need is a quarterback who can move markets. And let's not forget, Haslam isn't just benefiting from this model. He's creating it. He's the one who slowed down the development process, knowing that burning out a star too fast means leaving long-term value on the table. He's the one making chess moves that align on-field decisions with global brand positioning. Every choice, from when Shedeur gets the spotlight to how he's promoted, has been about sustaining value, not draining it. The Browns, under Haslam's strategy, aren't just building a team. They're building a platform. A scalable, exportable, media-savvy franchise centered on a player who was born for this kind of spotlight. And Shedeur? He's living up to every inch of it. He's not just surviving in the NFL. He's redefining what survival even means. He's proving that a player can bring their own infrastructure into the league, operate like a brand, perform like a pro, and still win over fans, media, and markets. It's a delicate balance, and he's pulling it off. That balance is what other franchises will try and fail to replicate. Because it's not just about hiring more content creators or leaning into personality. It's about trust. It's about recognizing when a player isn't just a player, but a partner. And most owners? They're not ready to give up that kind of control. But they're watching. All of them. Watching the Browns turn a single draft pick into a billion-dollar blueprint. Watching a quarterback drive up franchise valuation without even touching the postseason. Watching fans in Dubai buy jerseys from a team they've never watched because Shedeur Sanders is on it. It's not just impressive. It's disruptive. And the disruption has only just begun. As long as Sanders keeps producing on the field and in the marketplace, he's not just going to be the face of the Browns. He's going to be the face of a larger transformation. One where players are brands, franchises are platforms, and loyalty is global. Shedeur isn't just changing how we see quarterbacks. He's changing how we see value in sports. And the league? It has two choices: evolve or get left behind. If you're watching this whole shift unfold with the same stunned energy we are, hit that like button. Drop a comment and let us know, do you think this model is the future of the NFL? Or is Shedeur a one of one? And don't forget to subscribe. We're breaking down every twist in the league's biggest power shift. Stay locked in. This story isn't over. Not even close. Here's the thing that's really setting the league on edge. Shedeur Sanders didn't just bring talent and branding into the NFL. He brought disruption. Actual, measurable, bottom-line shaking disruption. The kind that makes owners ask uncomfortable questions. The kind that makes legacy playbooks obsolete. The kind that forces billionaires to sit down and rethink everything they thought they knew about running a football team. Because let's be real, this is bigger than football. It's about business. It's about culture. It's about identity. And Shedeur, with Jimmy Haslam right there backing the vision, is proving that the most valuable asset in modern sports isn't a quarterback who can throw a perfect spiral. It's one who can build a brand while doing it. And the NFL? It's been caught flat-footed. See, they've been so busy monetizing tradition, Super Bowl ads, decades-old team rivalries, cable TV deals, that they completely missed the wave coming right toward them. The global wave. The digital-first wave. The wave that doesn't care who your favorite tight end was in 2003. The next generation of fans isn't buying nostalgia. They're buying relevance. And right now, Shedeur Sanders is relevance. You want proof? Look at the merch numbers. Jersey sales flying off shelves in places the NFL barely had a footprint in 5 years ago. Not just expats buying in London or Berlin. We're talking serious fan bases growing in Lagos, in Dubai, in Seoul. That doesn't happen because of good PR. That happens when a player becomes a global icon. And it's not just because of the stats. Although, let's not pretend those aren't impressive. The multiple 300-yard games? The clutch plays? He's proving he belongs on the field. But that's just the foundation. What's really shaking the league is everything else. The media control, the international appeal, the business acumen, the unmistakable polish that makes him more than a star athlete. He's a cultural force. Which brings us back to Jimmy Haslam. Because while the rest of the league is still adjusting their bifocals, trying to read the fine print of this new reality, Haslam already turned the page. He saw what Shedeur represented from day one, and he didn't flinch. He didn't try to shrink the moment. He expanded it. Haslam didn't see a 21-year-old quarterback. He saw a global investment. He saw a walking, talking, content-creating, fan-generating brand. He saw an opportunity to turn the Browns, yes, the Cleveland Browns, into something more than a football team. Something international. Something scalable. Something iconic. And he didn't just think it. He acted on it. From the way they've managed Shedeur's rollout, carefully paced, strategically polished, to the Browns' marketing shift from local promos to global branding, every decision has been part of a larger playbook. One written with sustainability, not just splash, in mind. No forced face of the franchise pressure. No overexposure. No quick burn hype cycle. Instead, a steady, methodical approach to building something that lasts. Something that can grow beyond the field, beyond the season, beyond the league. And while the NFL tries to decode how the Browns pulled this off, the truth is they can't. Because it wasn't luck. It wasn't just about drafting the right guy. It was about recognizing the shift before it happened and building the infrastructure to support it. Other franchises are trying to copy the formula now. They're hiring social teams, launching docuseries, encouraging players to build their personal brand. But it's not working like they hoped. Because what they're missing, the thing that makes the Sanders-Haslam model so dangerous, is authenticity and trust. Shedeur didn't walk into the league trying to be something he's not. He didn't chase the spotlight, it followed him, because he already spent years doing the hard work. Building a platform, connecting with fans, owning his narrative. And Haslam? He didn't try to control it. He trusted it. He trusted Shedeur to lead not just on the field, but off of it. He gave him space. He gave him resources. He gave him respect. That's the part other owners don't know how to replicate. Because it means giving up some of the control they've clung to for decades. It means letting players own their image. It means treating them like business partners, not just assets. And that kind of shift? It terrifies the establishment. Because once players realize they can do what Shedeur is doing, bring their own audience, build their own brand, and partner with ownership instead of waiting for scraps, it's game over for the old system. The league isn't built for that. It never has been. It was built to contain talent, to own value, to manage image. But now, the image is self-managed. The value is self-generated. The containment strategy? Shattered. And here's the kicker. This isn't just theory anymore. It's happening in real time. Every new report, every marketing deal, every uptick in the Browns' valuation, it all confirms the same thing. This model works. You don't need a dynasty team to grow a franchise. You need a player who matters. One who connects. One who can build a cultural presence that transcends game day. Shedeur Sanders is that player. And the Browns? They're now the blueprint. They've gone from afterthought to prototype, from punchline to power move. And it's all because they understood that modern sports are about more than the sport. They're about story. And no one's telling a better story right now than Shedeur Sanders. He's doing more than making plays. He's making moves. Moves that set new standards for what being a professional athlete looks like. Moves that force the league to reevaluate how they develop talent, how they market stars, how they assign value. Because if a player can walk in with his own brand, his own fans, his own media machine, what's left for the league to control? The old structure doesn't fit anymore. And players are watching. Future rookies are watching. College stars with nil deals and six-figure social followings are watching. They're taking notes. They're seeing what happens when a player owns his narrative and an owner lets him. They're seeing that it works, that it pays, that it scales. And that's why the panic is setting in. Because this is the future. And it's not waiting for permission. It's already here. So what do you do if you're another NFL franchise? Do you double down on tradition and hope your fans stick around? Or do you pivot? Do you find the next Shedeur, or more realistically, the next player who could become his own version of a global brand, and build with him? Most won't. Most will resist. But the smart ones? They're going to start adapting. Fast. Because what Jimmy Haslam and Shedeur Sanders just pulled off isn't just a win for Cleveland. It's a warning to the rest of the league. Evolve or fall behind. And honestly, most of them already are. The fear spreading through NFL ownership circles right now, it's not just about what Shedeur Sanders is doing. It's about what happens if this becomes normal. Because Shedeur isn't a one-hit wonder. He's a proof of concept. A rookie who's outperforming expectations on the field and redefining value off it. And the moment that proof becomes a trend, the league's traditional power structure is done. You can feel it. The tension. The awkward press conferences. The vague, irritated quotes from execs who don't say his name, but everyone knows who they're talking about. It's all quiet panic. Because they've spent decades building a system designed to control the narrative. But now the narrative is walking around in cleats, throwing touchdowns, and signing media deals they don't own. That's why Jimmy Haslam is suddenly the most talked about owner in the league. Because, while everyone else clings to the past, he's already operating in the future. He didn't just embrace the player-led brand economy. He built around it. And he did it with precision. Not fanfare. Not desperation. Strategy. Haslam didn't just hand Shedeur a starting job and slap his face on a billboard. He built infrastructure. A long game. He protected his physical and media exposure, giving him space to grow without burning out. That kind of patience in the NFL is rare. But patience, in this case, paid. Because now the Browns aren't just selling tickets, they're selling identity. They're not chasing temporary hype. They're building long-term emotional investment. And that's what Shedeur brings, emotional equity. This is the kind of value that doesn't fade when the season ends. It's what drives overseas jersey sales. It's what powers global fan clubs. It's what makes someone in Seoul wear a Browns hoodie without ever watching a full game. It's cultural relevance. The league has never known how to manufacture that. And it certainly doesn't know how to control it when it comes from a player. So they're watching Shedeur's every move, hoping he stumbles, hoping the numbers dip, hoping it was all just a flash in the pan. Because if he doesn't stumble, if he continues performing, growing, and expanding his footprint, then the playbook is obsolete. Permanently. Let's not forget, this all starts with performance. Without those big games, without the poise under pressure, without the stats to back it up, the brand doesn't matter. But Shedeur has delivered on the field, and that makes all the off-field leverage not just valid, but undeniable. And once a player proves he can succeed on his own terms, what's stopping others from doing the same? That's what's keeping owners up at night. Because now, rookies will enter the draft with media strategies. Nil-built brands. Pre-existing audiences. They'll walk into locker rooms expecting partnerships, not contracts. And owners who don't adapt? They'll be stuck wondering why the best talent doesn't want to play for them. You think Shedeur would have signed with a team that tried to limit his exposure? That told him to earn his platform before using it? No, because he didn't need their platform. He was the platform. And that's what the NFL's power structure is so unprepared to deal with. Because this league was built on ownership first, players second. That's not conspiracy, that's structure. Media rights flow through the league. Merch deals are centralized. Players are expected to perform, while the league packages and sells everything around them. But Shedeur flipped that. He came in already packaged, already polished, already monetized. And now, instead of the team propping him up, he's propping up the team. That kind of inversion is seismic. It forces a fundamental redefinition of value. The guy who sells the most jerseys, who brings in the international audience, who boosts the franchise valuation, that guy doesn't just deserve a salary. He deserves equity, voice, agency. And whether the league likes it or not, those conversations are coming. Because the Browns just became a test case for what happens when a player-led model works. The fan base is energized. The brand is expanding. The numbers are up. And every other team is watching that unfold in real time, knowing they can't copy it without completely changing how they operate. Let's talk about what makes Shedeur different. It's not just the charisma. It's not just the famous last name. It's not even the flashy performances. It's the fact that he understands his value. He's not just riding the wave of fame. He's directing it. He knows what kind of content resonates. He knows how to speak to fans without sounding like a media robot. He knows how to leverage narrative, not just tell a good story, but be one. And he's not doing it recklessly. He's doing it with discipline. You can't find a clip of him breaking character. No cringy outbursts. No sloppy interviews. No tone-deaf moments. That's not just maturity, it's strategy. It's the calculated discipline of someone who knows that every moment is a business opportunity. That's what brands are buying into. That's what Haslam built around. It's not about personality. It's about precision. And now, the Browns are reaping every single benefit. Their valuation is rising, without a single postseason moment. Their social engagement is spiking, without a championship in sight. They've tapped into global markets the NFL's been targeting for years with minimal return. How? Because one player changed what it means to be valuable. Not just what you do, but how you exist in the cultural ecosystem. That's why Haslam invested, not just in talent, but in transformation. And the rest of the league? They either follow the model or get left watching from the sidelines. Let's be real, most owners won't be able to follow through. Not because they don't want the success, but because they won't give up the control. They'll try to find their own Shedeur, but forget the part where you have to trust him. Support him. Let him lead. You can't fake that. You can't force it. And you definitely can't franchise tag it. Because this isn't just about one player. It's about a shift in who gets to shape the game. For the first time in a long time, a player is driving the business forward faster than the league can catch up. And if Shedeur keeps performing, and everything says he will, he's not just the Browns' future. He's the league's new North Star. That's the real story here. It's not about stats. It's not about hype. It's not even about money. It's about power. And for once, the player has it. If this entire breakdown gave you chills like it gave us, hit that like button. Subscribe for more weekly breakdowns of the wildest moments in sports and pop culture. And sound off in the comments. Do you think this is a one-of-a-kind moment? Or are we watching the new normal being born? One thing's for sure. The NFL just got its wake-up call. And it came wearing number 2.